Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we finally return with episode 11 of our MotoGP 24 Let's Play. Yes, some of you guys have been asking me about it. I apologise, it has been a very quiet week from this series. Of course, as I've said before, a lot of our focus now is understandably on F124, but I don't want this series to completely disappear, but you will have to bear with me a little bit over the next few weeks. Episodes are going to be, a little bit thinner, a little bit further apart, but like I said, yeah, we still want to achieve our goal of becoming a MotoGP champion. Taking a look at the championship standings at the moment, it is still for Rossato with a 25-point lead at the top of the table. We are in a pretty snug P3 position at the moment, just behind Joel Esteban and ahead of Tatsuki Suzuki, who pretty much seems to fall off his bike any chance he gets in the last few rounds. Taking a look at the other standings, though, it is still Masia top of Moto2, 6 points clear of Agura, and yeah, still in MotoGP, Jorge Martin with an almighty lead over Brad Binder as well. So, yeah, as we head, though, to the Grand Prix of Kazakhstan, I couldn't even tell you what sort of where this track is, or well, apart from obviously it being in Kazakhstan. I've never ridden or driven or done anything around this place, so this one is going to be interesting.
A warm welcome from Kazakhstan. We are live from the Sokol circuit. The second Moto3 practice session is about to start. A reminder, the first 14 riders in the combined times will gain direct access to Q2.
Like I said, I've got no idea what even to expect as we come here to Kazakhstan. It's not like I've sort of, say ridden on a different game or driven anywhere on a sim 10 years ago. I don't think I've ever turned a lap around this venue, and certainly as we make our way onto our first lap, it is going to be a trial and error session of learning where I've got to go. Track map doesn't make it look too complicated, but obviously it definitely is giving me fully set up for just motorbike racing vibes as well. Is Kazakhstan a big motorbike nation? I could not tell you, but hopefully, yeah, we'll have a bit of fun with it. It looks like we have got some decent straights as well, but it seems like a very kind of flat circuit for the most part. This corner looks quite interesting. Well, maybe the apex looks interesting as well. I wouldn't know with the line I took through there. Heavy braking zone down at the end of the back straight again. It is, like I said, it's been a few days since I last played this game. As you can see there by that almighty wobble through this middle sector of the lap. That complex of corners, I think, is just going to be horrible to try and navigate all weekend long. But yeah, the second half of the lap, very high speed for the most part, looking at it. Nice, long, flowing right-hander that carries us just over 90 degrees. Yeah, making our way then down in towards the final few turns. So there are a couple of horrible braking zones around here as well. That I think on these bikes, you're going to have to really sort of fling the bike in even, I should say, and kind of just pray that it grips up. I'm not convinced, though, patience is going to be particularly important around here, though I feel like you are going to be able to drag this thing in. But yeah, I'm just going to try and get some laps under my belt, sort of see what times we can set. But I think this chicane is going to be the worst bit of the entire lap. You can already see halfway around our second lap, already 2.2 seconds up on my previous lap time. It's kind of irrelevant, though, until I've got an idea of what times the AI are going to be setting. We are going to need their kind of benchmark. Our first lap completed, but I actually know where we're going. To the surprise of no one, of course, we're still going to be a fair old way off the pace. We get to about 2 seconds back, though. I definitely feel like, yeah, obviously I'm trying to remember how to handle these bikes as well on this game. Just slowly kind of picking back up that muscle memory. I reckon we can get close, but this might be a weekend that the win simply isn't on the cards. Of course, we only actually need to be top 14 by the end of this session. We'll try and get him a bit of slipstream off one of the other riders as well. That's going to give us a handy couple of tenths as we make our way down this back straight. That might well be one of the longest straights we do all season. Certainly rivals Mugello. But yeah, we just got to try and get top 14, so if we can just carry this lap time round, that might be enough. Also find it very odd the way the AI take a very different line to where the racing line is recommending you go. But yeah, third lap then, or fourth lap, I don't even know how many laps I've done We're going to be another second up. That's going to promote us up inside that top 10, I hope. 5th place. So I'm hoping that is enough. That pit lane also seems a bit dangerous. Well, and for continuity's sake as well, because you might have just seen it was trying to give me a long lap penalty. We are just going to rewind our way out of that issue. Well, there we go. We do make it straight into Q2 then, just ahead of our teammate Holgado as well. We've actually got a new challenge, and we've got to try and beat Tatsuki Suzuki over the next 4 rounds as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. But yeah, happy with the pace we were able to find in the end. But let's see if we can keep it up as we head into qualifying.
Welcome back, all you MotoGP fans. We're live for the second Moto3 qualifying session. Just a few more minutes and we'll find out which riders will start from the front of the grid in tomorrow's race.
With lap times then up closer to the 2-minute mark, we are not going to get many chances to try and get a good lap on the board here today. So we're just going to really try and just get out there and get as much mileage as we possibly can. We've got softs on both the front and the rear, as of course, as always, a gaggle of other riders. Yep, that seems about right. I refuse to take a long lap penalty for the AI just joining onto the racing line. I mean, they can't really do a lot else. But that is, I mean, who signed off on that for a pit lane exit? I mean, they've got all that space on the inside of the curb. Surely the other riders should use that? I don't know. Well, I basically had to completely sacrifice my first lap time here then. Unfortunately, I also then went and invalidated it. Not that it's going to be a good benchmark. I'm trying to just make sure that we've still got eyesight of those riders in front, so we've got a better idea of how the pace is looking as the lap unfolds. Holgado, a 53.1 is not something to write home about. That's the line you want through that double apex. It's horrible. The game wants you to rotate in so late. And I mean, we're trying to attack that curb as best as we can. It might compromise our exit slightly, but it definitely feels like the best way through. Then we get into these horrible corners. You've got to be really patient. Get off the brake so you can rotate the bike through the change of directions. And then try to carry as much speed out onto that back straight. Oh, that penultimate corner. I really just cannot find a line that works round. And then I've messed up the final corner as well. Trying to carry too much speed on optimism. For a Sato 51.6, that's more the kind of times we are expecting here. As times continue to drop, we are going to do a 52.4. Quicker than free practice, but still with a lot more to find. I mean, you really are asking the front tyre to do quite a lot here. We didn't take the apex that time around, and we were actually able to find a bit more on the exit of the corner. But yeah, you are just demanding so much from this bike round here in so many different aspects. It's not like Mugello, where, say, it's just a lot of long flowing corners. This place really does seem to have it all. Probably a fantastic testing facility for a motorbike. But I'm still not convinced, with the exception of maybe this back straight. Is it going to be particularly good for racing? Oh, someone's gone off. And no, our lap time's going to be invalidated. Wonderful. Right at the end as well of our lap, Zurazata has come off his bike. It turns out we weren't actually going to improve anyway. Oh, there we go. Finally, for the first time this entire lap, we are back up in the green. Make sure we get a nice run through that final corner, which we will. Not going to be much of an improvement, but it is going to finally be bringing the times the right way. I think the tyres are just starting to fall off more and more. We're still a second back from Furusato. There is, I mean, this might be our worst race result of the year. Oh, someone else has fallen off as well. We just cannot catch a break at the moment. Luckily, they're not going to be anywhere near me, I don't think. But yeah, I reckon we found everything we can on this bike. We are going to get one more shot, but I don't think we're going to move ourselves any further up. Luckily, field spread does seem to be quite extreme here. So although we're a second off, we're still only in P6. And we're ahead of Tatsuki Suzuki. One more run, though. Let's put it all on the line. And it's gone. Immediately. Because someone else is falling off their bike. I'll be honest, looking at the timings then, it looks like Furusato is here to dominate. But, yeah, our time actually in the end, when you look at how close it is behind us, we were very, very lucky that we got the time we did on the board. Because easily just 1/10 slower could have costed us a good sort of 6-7 positions. There's Suzuki down in 15th, just behind Colin Vire, who normally is a bit stronger than that. But yeah, now we've got to move into the race. I'm very, very scared that we're going to get taken out.
Hello to all our motorcycle race fans. We are live from the Sokol circuit in Kazakhstan. Just a few more moments and we'll switch to the starting straight for the Moto3 class race. Cameras are accompanying us to the starting grid, where engineers and mechanics are checking final details before the start. The sun is shining, but the temperatures are low today. Many riders have braved a soft rear tyre, but given the layout of the track, they've opted for a hard front.
Well, here we are then, taking a look as we head into the race. Like I said, we've got to try and beat Suzuki over the next 4 rounds there. We've got quite a few interesting circuits coming up. But we're going to opt just for the soft tyres. We need the grip over the course of the afternoon. So hopefully they're not going to fall to pieces, but we'll wait and see.
The fans in the stands are waiting in anticipation. The riders are ready to take on the first turn. As soon as the lights go out, the race at the Sokol circuit is on.
Well, we're in a little bit of an awkward position on the inside, ready for turn 1, but we'll wait and see as to how we get on. There we go, pretty decent start. Always remember just how bad I am at those on this game, but actually this time round we've done quite well. How are the other riders going to navigate these first couple of corners? That is the big question on everybody's mind, as I've gone and taken myself out. We went straight into the side of my teammate. Nothing he could do in that situation. When is the bike going to come to a stop? And immediately it has gone wrong here for, I believe, the second weekend in a row. I feel like we came off in Mugello as well, didn't we? That wasn't my fault in our defence. But yeah, we have got a long old climb back. Luckily, most of the riders, of course, still very bunched up. Only a 7-lap race, though, so we have got to get on with it. We're a bit lucky. I'm just taking a look there. We only actually have to beat Suzuki as long as we're still ahead of him in the championship. So we actually come into this round with, I believe, a 22-point buffer over our Japanese rivals. So that's actually quite a good thing then. So even if we have a bit of a nightmare result here, then we should still be ahead of him. But, I mean, we've basically caught back up by the end of lap 1. But normally, obviously, the AI are a little bit slow. They're all trying to navigate each other. So you have got to be able to try and capitalise. Right, come on then, down at turn 1. Bit of a tighter line than some of the AI. Luckily, we're going to get spotted there. So definitely, I mean, against these back markers, which should be a whole lot quicker. We've not finished lower than 6th this season. That's going to be a track limits warning. That might be another one. Luckily not there. Plenty of curb. Nope, there we go. We did get another track limit warning. And we've got to give back 2 places. Ugh! I'm trying to get out your way. Please don't get angry with me. Yeah, this racetrack. I mean, hopefully when we come back here in the future, when we know where we're going, might have a bit of a lock on. But yeah, for the first time this season, really do feel like we are a bit of a rookie again. There's a bit of contact there, but we'll make the double overtake happen. Whoa, someone's gone miles off. How on earth have you ended up out there, sir? We'll take the freebie, though. We're almost back inside the top 20. I mean, I'd like to score points still here. Let's say I think, yeah, this is definitely going to be our worst result of the year. Oh, bit of contact. Can we try and switch him? Nope, he's going to sit on the apex. I might have contributed to that. That might have been my fault. Oh, you can see some very, very alternate lines through these next few turns there as we try and keep it between track limits. Yeah, I think we have still definitely got some pace around here as well. Even more contact. Is he trying to punch someone there to make our way up the hill? I mean, yeah, points may be possible. I don't know at the moment. I mean, they're already kind of spreading out of it, aren't they? Rather unsurprisingly for Rosato and Joel Esteban, pulling away from the rest of your riders. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just... It's been a few days since I played this game, and I am not riding very well at all. I think, honestly, what's annoying me more than anything else around this venue so far is not actually my lack of pace, but the lack of adaptability I feel when we're racing with the other AI. You know, it's just... I mean, you watch them kind of weave through each other and things like that. I know they seem to race me harder than they do each other anyway, but it feels like, you know, we're getting involved in contact like that. That time around, we didn't actually knock someone over, but I just feel rusty. I think that's the other annoying thing, as I'm sure we're going to get dived up here. Yep, there you go. Luckily, we'll hold it right the way around. Oh, got 2 more laps to go then of this race, and I mean, we're just in a bit of no man's land at the moment. I'm pretty certain this train of riders extends right the way up inside your top 10. We just can't do anything though. We are slightly faster, but I don't think anywhere near quick enough to make an impact unless we absolutely nail it. Oh, someone's gone. Nepa's crashed. There might be a chance here late on as well. That is a big fall off. I mean, that's a high-speed corner, this. Not what Nepa would have wanted, and he is, I believe, our first retirement from the race. Has bunched up more of the AI, though, just in front of me. Obviously, 15th place won't grant us any points. For some reason, I always got in my head that it will. Is that going to be a track limits violation? That must have been right on the limit then, because I thought it would be. But 1 more lap to go. We have continued to cut this gap down. 1.4 seconds. This first sector is going to be the difference maker. As take a look on the mini-map. The distance that Furasato and Joel Esteban have been able to pull out over everybody else in this race. Absolutely ridiculous. The gap that they've been able to extend in just 7 laps here. As we try and navigate our way through. That is going to be another track limits warning. You've got to be so careful through that corner. It's very odd. If it's just white lines, the game seems to be way more strict than if there's curbing as well. You can see we are closing in. That first sector, we are often very, very strong through. But it is just the rest of the lap. I mean, yeah, this whole cluster of riders, though, right towards the end, still not willing to give up. And looks like a couple of them have broken free at the front. Is there going to be any way in which we try and get ourselves inside that top 10? You can see we're trying to explore the limits of grip, but we're still like 7/10 back. We might be able to get a couple of them as damage limitation, but this has been a really, really disappointing race. You can still see even now, struggling to get the bike positioned where I need it. Through the final couple of corners we are going to go. We're going to try a nice wide line there, see if we can get a run on, I think it's David Munoz, but it's not going to happen at the final corner. Points in every single race so far this season has unfortunately come to an end. It's P15 here in Kazakhstan.
As the Moto3 riders do their cool-down lap, let's take a look at the final results of the race we've just seen.
Well, no real surprises then between your top 2. Tayo Furasato and Joel Esteban are going to pull out a huge chunk of points over myself there. Suzuki, a brilliant recovery ride as well, up to P4, just behind Ruida. Alonso, Kelso, Bequeras, Ortola, Rossi, and Zuratuza, your final point scorers as well. But 15th for us, yeah, is a really, really disappointing in the end. We were only a second away from points come the end of the afternoon there. But that's going to mean in terms of the Riders' Championship, we've still got 10 points over Suzuki, but now a 59-point deficit to our championship leader there. That is going to be a huge effort to overhaul that gap before the end of the season. Constructors-wise as well, we are down in P4, still 1 point ahead of our fellow Red Bull team as well there. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We'll be back very soon, and I believe we are heading to Assen, I want to say, for the Dutch Grand Prix.